Are we finally on the eve of a true age of disclosure when all government secrets about alleged alien life and UFOs will finally be revealed? Perhaps after President Trump gave the green light for government files on extraterrestrial life to be released to the public. It is a direction that a growing number of voices have been calling for years, from UFO whistleblowers to top-ranking congressional officials. Here at NewsNation, we haven't just been following the story, we've been leading it. 2 years ago, we brought you the eye-opening story of David Grush, the former Air Force intelligence officer who became a whistleblower and alleged government cover-up of a UFO retrieval program.
I never wanted to do this, but my sense of service, I decided to do this for the right reasons, I think, to hold Congress accountable, hold the IG accountable, and the executive branch accountable, because we have a severe constitutional crisis right now. This is not a laughing matter.
Now that call for accountability could soon be answered. Trump posted on Truth Social that due to, quote, tremendous interest, he is directing government agencies to begin identifying and releasing files related to extraterrestrial life, UAPs, and UFOs. Trump has been dancing around the disclosure topic for years, so this announcement might not be too surprising, coming as it did just hours after former President Barack Obama made headlines on the subject. He said on a podcast he thought aliens were real. The comment lit up social media, and yesterday reporters asked President Trump to weigh in.
Barack Obama said that aliens are real. Have you seen any evidence of non-human visitors to Earth?
Well, he gave classified information. He's not supposed to be doing that. I may get him out of trouble by declassifying.
We know.
And with that, he ordered the files to be declassified and released, perhaps wanting to create a little viral sensation of his own. But when might we see any of them? There's no word on that and no word on what those files might contain. And please remember the relative nothing burger of the JFK files release last year. So how big really is this? We're joined now by Marik Von Rennenkampff, who served at the Departments of State and Defense. He's also a contributor at The Hill. So, Marik, you say this is a huge development, but we should be cautiously optimistic. How can it be both?
Hey, good evening, Elizabeth. And I think anytime the President of the United States puts the words alien and extraterrestrial life into a social media post right next to language saying or suggesting that he will order the release of files related to UFOs, that's quite an extraordinary development. And that's especially the case after 80 years of denial, ridicule, and obfuscation from the U.S. government on this topic. That said, as you aptly noted, we have seen precedent for a quote-unquote nothing burger with some of these other releases that had been hyped. There's a lot of chatter about this potentially being a political distraction. So I am indeed cautiously optimistic. But I do want to maybe just briefly level set, because a lot of the coverage that I've seen has been quite dismissive of these comments. But at the end of the day, this is an extremely bipartisan issue. Chuck Schumer, of all people, stated on the Senate floor that multiple credible sources have come to Congress stating that the federal government, the executive branch, has illegally withheld information on UFOs, again, from Congress. That's pretty extraordinary. We've seen these hearings. New videos keep coming out. Marco Rubio stated just in December that generals and admirals, the top tier of our military, the United States military, told him and the Senate Intelligence Committee that unreported UFO retrieval and reverse engineering programs have been withheld from the president. So there's a lot of smoke. There's an enormous amount of smoke here. I'm cautiously optimistic. Let's see what happens.
If you've been following the story closely, you know, as you have, and we have, because we've been reporting on it a lot, we know that it's sort of the defense contracting industry that has been really working on, allegedly, this reverse engineering project, taking extraterrestrial remains of or crashed vehicles and trying to reverse engineer them. There's been almost a deliberate attempt to cut out elected leaders, even elected presidents, because they'll be gone in 4 or 8 years. Whereas for decades, these companies with these laboratories are able to work in extreme secrecy on extraterrestrial craft.
That certainly is the narrative that has developed, and that has been told by multiple independent sources, and it's a very consistent narrative, which is fascinating to your point. But yes, that is potentially a way of obfuscating Freedom of Information Act laws, for example, of hiding this technology if it has indeed been recovered. I will say that Senator Chuck Schumer and Mike Rounds, Republican of South Dakota, have really led the charge in this. And if you look at their legislation, the UAP Disclosure Act, it specifically gets to your point, and it has a requirement for the federal government to assert eminent domain over any and all UAP craft that have been transferred to private defense contractors, and that extends to what they describe as biological evidence of non-human intelligence, and that's in black and white, Elizabeth. That's pretty extraordinary. But yes, you're absolutely right. So the question is, if any potential release of information is of government files, and the bulk of the equipment, the hardware is actually in private hands, that does raise a very interesting issue. But we shall see. I, for one, will be watching Tuesday's State of the Union address very closely in the event that President Trump expands on these comments, which, as you noted, have really taken off like wildfire, certainly on social media.
Do you think he might actually do that? I mean, as you point out, there's bipartisan support for this. Very high-ranking members of both parties, Democrats and Republicans, have talked about the necessity of releasing these records. It would be intriguing if he mentioned that.
100%. But you're right. We're getting to a fever pitch, and I want to also point out the film "The Age of Disclosure," which did incredibly well. It was the highest-grossing documentary on Amazon Prime Video within 48 hours of coming out, and it has Rubio, Senator Gillibrand, Senator Rounds, all these individuals making pretty extraordinary statements. So yes, I think there really is I think we're at a critical mass here. There's really a groundswell of both public and congressional legislative support for true transparency. And after 80 years, it's time.
All right. 10 seconds, because that's all I've got, Marik. Are we ready for it? Because in Age of Disclosure, they talk about the fact that previous administrations had talked about releasing these files and decided that the American public, the world, in fact, wasn't ready to learn the quote, truth. Do you think
we're ready for it? I think the big question is what happens the day after, geopolitically, economically, socially, and culturally.
Yeah. Whew. Okay. You've given me a lot to think about this weekend. Marik, great to have you. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.